While everyone else is out there screaming for attention, posting fake wins, and chasing likes, you're in the shadows, grinding, quiet, focused. That's silent progress. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need the world to see every rep, every late night, or every sacrifice. Because you know what you're building. And it's bigger than anyone can imagine. Real growth isn't loud. It doesn't flex. It doesn't tweet. It just works. While the world is distracted by noise, you're building discipline. You're stacking wins. And every day you're getting more dangerous. They won't see it coming. And that's exactly the point. Because when you finally show up, you're not asking for permission. You're not hoping to be accepted. You're taking what's yours. With results so undeniable, no one can ignore you. This is your reminder. Stay quiet. Stay sharp. Stay lethal. Because kings don't yell, they just win. Everyone's addicted to being. The moment they start something, a workout, a business, a book, they're already posting about it. A day one grind, they say. But here's the truth. Real warriors don't talk about the first day of battle. They train in silence, bleed in silence, and let the results scream in the time. If your progress needs an audience to exist, you're not chasing growth. You're chasing attention. See, the second you put your goals on display, you open the door for distraction, for doubt, for people to weigh in who have never walked your path. Suddenly, you're not doing it for yourself anymore. You're performing. That's weakness. That's ego. And that's where most people fall off. They spend more time polishing their image than sharpening their skills. But the real ones, they're too busy leveling up to post about it. Progress is sacred. It's ugly. It's boring. It's painful. And most of it happens when the cameras are off and no one's clapping. It's early mornings, late nights, failures no one sees. It's reps you didn't feel like doing, emails you didn't want to send, and hours grinding when everyone else was grinding. It's not glamorous. And that's exactly why it's powerful. Because if you can suffer without applause, you're unstoppable. The world is loud. Everyone's broadcasting fake wins and filters. But the truth, the guy who's truly winning doesn't care if you know he's not announcing his every move. He's building an empire in the dark. And when he shows up, he's already 10 steps ahead. Why? Because while you were watching others, he was watching himself. He was correcting, refining, improving, privately. If you want to be exceptional, get comfortable being invisible. Don't announce your hyper kill. Don't document every grind session. Keep it to yourself, because the more you chase validation, the more power you give away. Silence is strength. Privacy is leverage. When nobody sees you coming, that's when you hit the hardest. The world is a circus. Everyone's performing, shouting opinions, posting every second of their life, chasing trends like dogs chasing cars. It's all noise. Useless, distracting noise. And if you're not careful, you get sucked into it. Your focus gets hijacked by things that don't move you forward. Every scroll, every comment, every opinion you let into your head, it all chips away at your attention. And attention is your most dangerous weapon. Waste it, and you're done. Focus is a superpower now. Everyone wants it, but few. You can be talented, smart, even lucky. But if your focus is fractured, you'll never hit your potential. That's why average people stay average. They get distracted by gossip, by news, by other people's drama. Winners don't have time for. They're locked in, dialed into their mission like a laser. When they work, they work. When they train, they train. No split energy, no mental clutter, just ruthless clarity. Here's what they don't tell you. The more focused you are, the more dangerous you become. Because now you're moving with intent. You're not reacting, you're creating. You're not bouncing between 100 tasks. You're executing on the one thing that matters. That level of focus turns weeks into days, turns goals into weapons. It separates the people who talk about doing big things from the ones who actually do them. The problem is, most people are addicted to noise. They crave it. Silence scares them because it forces them to face them. So they fill the void with endless distractions. Always scrolling, always reacting, never building. You need to be different. You need to cut the noise out like a cancer. Turn off the notifications. Shut down the nonsense. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. When your mind is clean and your focus is sharp, life becomes simple. You see through the lies. You stop chasing 50 goals and start attacking one with full force. You stop worrying about other people's opinions because you're too deep in your own lane. And that's when momentum kicks in. That's when everything starts shifting. Not because the world got easier, but because you stopped letting the noise control your mind. Forget motivation. That stuff's a scam. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you're fired up, the next day you're in bed hitting snooze 5 times. You can't build an empire off feelings. You build it off discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. That's the real flex. Not the car, not the clothes, not the fake lifestyle. It's waking up, showing up, and doing the work every damn day, even when no one's watching. Especially when you're tired, and especially when it sucks. You want respect? Build discipline. You want freedom? Build discipline. Because that's the foundation for everything. People think discipline is restrictive, like it's some punishment. Nah, discipline is the cheat code. It gives you control over your time, your emotions, your results. It's what separates the weak from the elite. It's the reason some people are constantly leveling up while others stay stuck in the same cycle year after year, talking about what they could have done. Let's be clear, discipline isn't sexy. It's not some Instagram highlight reel. It's setting the alarm and getting up when no one else is. It's saying no to the party, to the junk food, to the easy route. It's doing the boring things over and over again because you understand this truth. Mastery lives in repetition. Discipline isn't loud, it's consistent. And consistency is what builds monsters. Everyone wants to win, but only the disciplined are willing to pay the price. The world is full of people chasing comfort. But comfort kills greatness. It softens your edge. It makes you fragile. Discipline keeps you sharp, keeps you dangerous. It forces you to stay uncomfortable, which is where real growth happens. It's doing the work even when your emotions are screaming at you to stop. That's real power, not acting based on how you feel, but acting based on who you're committed to becoming. You want to be respected? Not just liked, respected? Then forget showing off. Forget talking big. Show discipline. Show consistency. Show results. When people see you on your grind, unshaken, unbothered, locked in day after day, that's when they start watching. That's when they start wondering what you're building. That's when they realize this isn't some trend. This is a different breed. Validation is the most subtle form of slavery. You don't see the change, but they're there. Tied to every like, every comment, every good job you chase. The moment your actions depend on other people's approval, you've already lost. You've handed your power to the crowd. And the crowd doesn't care about your growth. They just want a show. That's the trap. Doing things not because they matter, but because you want people to clap for you. Most people live for the applause. They don't train unless they can post it. They don't grind unless someone's watching. Their work is theater, not purpose. The gym session for the selfie. The quote for the engagement. The hustle, performed not lived. And here's the brutal truth. If the applause stopped, so would they. Because deep down, they don't actually want the result. They want the recognition. And that makes them weak. See, validation feels good. Temporarily, it gives you a little dopamine spike, a quick ego boost, but it's empty. It doesn't build you. It builds a version of you that's addicted to feedback. And that version, that's not you. That's a puppet, controlled by opinions, swayed by attention, scared of silence. You want to build something real? Something unshakable? Then kill the need to be seen. Operate in silence. Master yourself, not the algorithm. You're not supposed to be understood right now. You're not supposed to be liked by everyone. You're supposed to be feared later, when your results hit like a freight train. The greats weren't chasing approval. They were chasing legacy. And legacy requires sacrifice of comfort, of ego, of constant attention. When you stop caring about validation, you unlock another level. You move different. You think clearer. You execute faster. Validation is a drug, and just like a drug, it wears off. So what happens when people stop clapping? What happens when no one's watching? That's when the real ones keep going. Because they're not addicted to praise. They're addicted to the process. They're not trying to be seen. They're trying to be great. And greatness, it never needed applause. Just results. Everyone wants to be loud about their plan. They talk like success is a show. Something you announce. Something you broadcast so people can clap for your potential. But here's the truth. Real success doesn't make noise. It doesn't ask for permission. It moves in silence, stacks in silence, and when it finally steps into the light, it's already too late for anyone to stop it. That's what makes it deadly. Nobody saw it coming, and by the time they do, you've already won. The problem is most people are obsessed with letting the world know they're on the grind. They leak every move. They talk big. They post every little step like it's the finish line. And then they lose momentum. Because all that energy that should have gone into building went into talking. You see, when you constantly announce your progress, you invite two things: distraction and resistance. People start watching, waiting, doubting, and that pressure kills more dreams than failure ever could. The real winners, they keep quiet, they stay low. While the world is clapping for noise, they're working in the shadows, crafting something that speaks for itself. They understand the power of surprise. They don't announce the grind, they unleash the result. Because when you show up with something no one expected, it hits different. It shakes people. It makes them ask, where did this guy come from? And the answer is simple. The dark, where real work happens. You don't need to prove anything to anyone while you're building. You don't need people to believe in your journey. You need to believe in it. Let them sleep on you. Let them doubt you. That's fuel. Every second you spend explaining your moves is a second taken from executing them. Stay silent. Stay dangerous. Let the silence do the setup. And let the success do the talking. There's a certain beauty in being underestimated. No one sees you as a threat. No one's paying attention. And while they're distracted, while they're running their mouths, you're getting sharper, stronger, more lethal. So when the day comes that you finally step out of the shadows, it won't be a negotiation. It'll be a takeover. Not because you hyped it, but because you earned it. Power isn't about how loud you are. It's not about being the strongest guy in the room or having the flashiest lifestyle. Real power is control. Control over your time, control over your mind, control over your emotions, your actions, and your energy. The guy who can't control himself will always be controlled by something else. Comfort, distraction, anger, weakness, other people's opinions. If your emotions own you, you're a puppet. But if you own them, you're a weapon. Control starts with discipline, but it goes deep. It's how you respond when things don't go your way. Do you react like a child or do you adjust like a machine? The man with control doesn't panic, he calculates. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He doesn't get pulled in 100 directions because he knows exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. Every move has a purpose. That kind of control makes you dangerous because it means you can't be manipulated. Time is another form of control. Most people don't own their day. Their day owns them. They wake up reacting to alarms, messages, notifications, other people's problems. They're constantly in defense mode. But the one who controls his time, he's offensive. He sets the pace. He chooses what to give attention to and what to ignore. And that power compounds because hours become habits and habits shape outcomes. Own your time and you own your future. Then there's emotional control, the silent killer or the secret weapon. Most people let their feelings drive the wheel. If they're tired, if they're frustrated, they lash out. If they're anxious, they run. But the ones who win, they feel it, but they don't fold. They show up even when it's heavy. They're steady when everyone else is spiraling. That's leadership. That's the kind of control that earns real respect. Not from followers, but from other killers. Control isn't about suppressing who you are. It's about mastering it. Taming the chaos inside so you can operate with precision in the chaotic world. Everyone else is emotional, distracted, pulled in every direction. You're composed. You're calculated. You're in charge. And when you move like that, people feel it. You don't have to shout. You don't have to prove anything. You just move with control, with purpose. And that's what makes you powerful. You don't rise by chance. You rise by design. And when you've done the work in silence, when you've built the discipline, focus, and control, you don't just show up. You dominate. Not with noise, not with gimmicks. With results, with presence, with such a high level of execution that people have no choice but to respect you. The thing is, domination doesn't start when the spotlight hits. It starts in the dark. And by the time the world sees it, you're already 10 steps ahead. When you're ready, there's no hesitation. You move with certainty, not arrogance. Certainty, the kind that comes from hours of preparation, from sacrifices made when no one was watching. That kind of readiness hits different. It's not loud, it's not forced. It's calm, cold, locked in. You're not there to try. You're not there to see what happens. You're there to take over. And the scary part, you don't even need to say it. Everyone can feel it. That's why most people fear the quiet ones, because they're not leaking their plan. They're not caught up in ego. They're just watching, waiting, working. And when they step up, there's no warm-up phase. They're already in beast mode. That's what happens when you build in silence. You don't need a second chance. You show up ready to destroy. You move through rooms like you own them, because mentally you already do. The difference between showing up and dominating is the standard you set behind closed doors. Most people practice until they get it right. The elite practice until they can't get it wrong. That's the level you need. Ruthless repetition, brutal honesty with yourself. Zero tolerance for your own excuses, because when you hit that level, domination becomes second nature. It's not something you force. It's something you are. See, when you're really ready, you're not seeking attention. Attention seeks you, because results are magnetic. Power is silent, but it commands the room. And when you walk in fully prepared, fully sharpened, fully dangerous, you don't need to explain anything. The room shifts, people feel it, and the game changes. Not because you asked for permission, but because you earned the right to own everything in front of you. So while the world is busy chasing clout, you'll be chasing mastery. While they flex for likes, you'll be building a legacy. While they scream to be seen, you'll be too focused, becoming undeniable. Because when it's all said and done, the loudest one in the room isn't the strong. It's the one who moved in silence, sharpened in darkness, and showed up ready to conquer. With results so raw, so real, and so powerful that the world had no choice but to pay attention. No noise, no announcements, just a storm that no one saw coming. Stay quiet, stay sharp, stay lethal. Your time's coming, and when it does, you don't compete, you dominate.